have to understand how we are selecting a career, or what are the steps that we have to follow while we are selecting a career. That is the topic that you have to think right now. Now, because an important part of your career selection, or when you are selecting a course, most of the time you are selecting a lifestyle also. So that is a part of, for example, you are taking BA, that means you are going to be a teacher. And if you are taking LLB, that means you are going to be a lawyer. So if you are taking some other course, for example, fashion designing, or you are taking MBA in HR, most probably you will be ending up as a person, HR personnel. So when you are selecting a course, most of the time you are also selecting a lifestyle. So it's very important that you have to choose whether this lifestyle, for example, you know how doctors are living, how teachers are living. So if you have to think very deeply about how the lifestyle of a person, lifestyle of a teacher, or lifestyle of a lawyer, or lifestyle of a police person. So this is something that you have to think first, because after getting a job, you are going to be adjusted to that type of job, or the lifestyle of the job. For example, if you are applying for a PSC, for a police personnel job, and most of the time you will be in a very hectic lifestyle, because you may not get enough sleep sometimes, because police people have 24 hours duty. So that if you are expecting that kind of a duty, then you should think. So this is an important thing that you have to think. Most of the people never thinks about the other deeper aspect of the lifestyle of a job. So this is something that you have to think. So there are a lot of things that we have to follow while selecting a career, and these are some of the important steps. And the first this here you can see 10 basic steps are involved in selecting a career, and I will go into that. The first one is the self-reflection. Self-reflection means you are thinking about who am I, what I can do. So if you know who you are, what are your potential, what are your abilities, then it is easier for you to find a suitable career. So how you can find whom you are, what are your talents, and these are some of the areas where I have mentioned. For example, if you want to find out what kind of career may be suitable for me, then you have to first understand that what are your hobbies, what kind of activities you are doing when you are free, or what are the things that you are doing every day, or what kind of things you are doing when nobody is at home and you are alone in your home. So these are some activities you have to think about. So if you are just pointing out on a paper, these are the activities that I am doing every day. So if you follow this for 30 days, after 30 days you will come across a pattern. That is, every day I am spending this much time on this particular activity. That means I am naturally interested in this sort of activities. So this is one way by which we can find out what are our interests, what are our natural fascination, or what are our natural abilities. So everybody will be having some interest. There will not be any person who may not be having any interest or any likes in his or her life. So everybody will be having some likes. So it's what is important is that finding out what is my interest. If you know what are your interests, then everything is easy. Then you can go in the direction of your interest. So think about your hobbies, what kind of activities you are doing, and sometimes you can also ask your family members whether what kind of job I should take. You can ask your friends, according to you, what kind of job may be suitable for it. Because sometimes a friend may be very knowing what are your potential. Your family members, your parents, sometimes your cousins, everybody will be having some knowledge about you. So ask them all what kind of career may be suitable for you. So this is one way by which you can find out your interest. And you can also explore the past experience. For example, just now you have conducted a music exhibition, and there may be some activities which may be of interest for you. So if you think about these are the activities that have motivated me a lot, then you can definitely take a career that may be containing lot of those activities. So that is one way by which you can find out your interest. Then this is another important point that you have to find out. You have to think about, like there are about 35 lakh Malayalis abroad. Right now the population of Kerala is around 3.5 crores, or 35 million people are living in Kerala. So you take that therefore 35 lakh Malayalis are living in different countries. There may be more than 200 countries in the world. In that 200 countries, almost in every country you can find at least one Malayali. So that is the case of Malayali. But at the same time, that is, Malayalis are going abroad for in search of opportunities. We are not finding enough opportunities here. Now you see the other part of this, 35 lakh immigrants. Immigrants means Biharis, then UP, then Chhattisgarh, West Bengal. Lot of North Indian immigrants are coming to Kerala in search of job. When we say that we don't have jobs here, these people are finding jobs in Kerala. So why this is happening? This is something that you have to think. That is, most of the jobs that are available right now in Kerala are not attractive to the most of the younger generation like you. You don't find any value in those kind of jobs. Now, on the other hand, if you are going abroad, these are the same jobs people are going to do. For example, going to a hotel, going to a supermarket, or spending or looking after a children. These are the main activities many of your friends who may be already abroad may be doing. So the jobs that we are not finding attractive here are the same jobs that our people are doing abroad. So there is one point that you have to mention this, that there are opportunities in Kerala. The important thing is that how we can use these opportunities to make money, and this is something that you have to think about. Then another important thing in every career success, this is some of the important things that you have to develop. One is language skill. For example, our government always says that we have to focus on learning Malayalam. That's certainly needed. But just because you know Malayalam, nobody is going to give you a job. If you want a job, you have to be proficient, or you have to be very good in English. And you have to be also very good in Hindi. And you have to be also very good in Tamil. If you know these three languages, definitely you will get a job. And this is some advice. For example, few weeks back before, I was traveling in a taxi in Uber, and the taxi person says that if you know these 3-4 languages, just because you're not driving, you are not going to be successful. Because if you want to be successful in the job of a driver, you need contacts. So when a tourist person are coming, and if you are able to talk to them in Hindi or talk to them in Tamil, definitely they are going to call you again. So that is an important. So learning the basic, dealing these different languages, at least a minimal level of fluency in that is very helpful in getting successful in many of the jobs. Then other thing is computer skills. By computer skills means right now you people are very good in using mobile. But mobile and computer are completely different thing. Because mobile is almost like with the help of a finger you can do most of the activities. That is not how a computer is working. Computer has certain special programs. For example, Word, Excel, PowerPoint. Then another thing is how you are using an email, or how you are using a browser. These are the basic things that you have to know a computer. So you should be very good in using this Word, Excel and PowerPoint. Because in any job, you may be coming across these applications in computer. So developing a good skill in computer is also very important. Then another important aspect is money management skill. You can see that there are many people who got a lottery. Sometimes they get 1 crore, 2 crore, or 3 crore. Have you ever noticed the lifestyle of these people? Most of the people who get a lottery never finally become successful in their life. The problem is that they get a lot of money, and most of the time their relatives and their family friends and new friends then may be coming, will be also taking all this money, and finally they will be end up in living as poor again, because they don't know how to live with a lot of money. So living with money is an important skill, because if you take the big people like the CEO of Facebook, WhatsApp, who is that person, Mark Zuckerberg. He is driving a normal car, and he is living in normal house, just like how a middle class person in America is living. Why? He is very rich, but still he is living a very moderate living. So that sometimes there is a saying that you can never identify the real rich. Only the fake rich you will be able to identify. The real rich will never show their wealth. They will be living in they will be wearing only normal dress, coming in normal cars. So you are not going to identify the real rich very easily, because they are not bothered about these kind of things. They will be generating a lot of money, but they are not utilizing those money for their personal enjoyment. They are spending all this money to make more, to do more business, so to improve the wealth of their business and give more jobs to people. For example, if you know there are a lot of people like Adani, Tata, and Ambani. If government is taking over all those money and giving it to poor people, what will happen? Maybe for 1 year or 2 years, poor people will live a very comfortable life. And after that, what happens? These poor people will again become poor, because they don't know how to live with money. And something like that happened in Zimbabwe. Zimbabwe was a country, and there was a president called Robert Mugabe. And what Robert Mugabe was doing is that he took the property of these white Europeans and gave it to poor black people. And white Europeans were managing these farms very successfully. But when they were given to the poor black people, what happened is that after 5 or 6 years, all these farms become into a loss, because they don't know how to manage it. So this is an important skill everybody should learn. Now, in your school or in your university, nobody will teach you how to manage money. You can live comfortably with a very low income, and you can also live comfortably with a lot of money. So this is something that you have to learn. So whenever next time when you are watching YouTube, go and search out how to live how to use money effectively. Type such topics and try to learn something about the basic money management thing. Another important skill is interpersonal skill. Interpersonal skill means how you are relating with everyone in your family, in your office, in your neighborhood. Because sometimes if you are creating more enemies than friends, what happens is that wherever you go, finally you will be ending up in trouble. So managing other people, giving a good relationship with other people is an important aspect of your life. So to be successful in any career, you need a lot of support from others. Sometimes they may not be people who don't like personally. So it is very important that even if he or she is your enemy, still managing your enemy, living with your enemy is an important skill. Sometimes the person may be competing with you. He also wants to be the superior person, and he also wants to be the boss. So what happens naturally, you will be in conflict, you will be in competition. But just because otherwise the person may be a nice person. If you are not working in the same office, you can be maybe you both may be good friends. Since you both are working in the same office, you both have a similar ambition, you are fighting with each other, competing with each other, finally spoiling the benefit of each other. There is something called MAD. What is called MAD? Mutually Assured Destruction. MAD, MAD. Mutually Assured Destruction. Because if two successful people are fighting with each other, finally what happens is that both will be destroying or spoiling their career and life. So always remember that. Then continuous learning. This is another important skill that you have to learn. Just because remember one important thing, in college, nobody will be teaching you how to be successful in life. That is an important thing. If you study in any college in any parts of the world, whether you are studying in India or in USA or in UK, nobody will teach you how to be successful in life. They will be only teaching you some basic aspect. Then time management. This is another basic skill that you have to develop, because next time today you do one thing, go home and take a piece of paper and write down what are the things that you are doing from morning 6 a.m. to night 11 or 12 a.m. what you are doing. Please write on a piece of paper and do it for 30 days or 60 days. Then you can see that there is a pattern in your life. This is where you are spending most of your time. Then you can plan it again. So after 30 days or 60 days, you are coming into a new knowledge that I am spending most of my time in these sort of activities. So it will be helping you to find out what are your interests, what are your tastes, what are your natural likes, and where you are spoiling or where you are wasting most of your time. For example, if you are watching YouTube, don't just write YouTube. Write what type of video you saw in that YouTube. So after some time you can see that these are the types of video that I am seeing. And sometimes you may think that these are, most of the time you may be wondering that these are useless videos where I am wasting most of my time. So this is also an important money management, time management. To be successful in life, you need these two basic skills. One is how to handle money, how to manage time. Then another most important thing is emotional intelligence. Emotional intelligence means, because when I was a teacher in the beginning, when students are making some kind of disturbances, or students are engaged in some indisciplined activities, I usually get angry very, very fast. Now I don't get angry so fast, because I can respond to that situation in a very cool, very balanced manner, because that is from experience. So this is something, because I learned that there is no point in shouting or arguing with them. Instead of shouting or arguing, I learned that this is the staying cool, maybe talking with them mildly, maybe a better way of dealing with them. So this is what we call emotional intelligence. Emotional intelligence is, because we cannot make everyone into our track. It is impossible. So when I am doing something, I may be right in that. Other person may be also doing that, or that may be also right. There is not one route for success. There may be different routes for success. We have to accept this. There are different routes into the success. Then professionalism. Professionalism means, for example, when somebody is disagreeing with you, and if you are shouting with that person, arguing with that person, most of the time it will create more trouble. As I already told you, mutually assured distraction, that will happen. So if you are fighting with someone, and there is something called respecting your enemy, because enemies very well know what are your potential. More than your friends, your enemy will be studying you very thoroughly. They know what is your strength and what is your weakness. So if you fight with an enemy, most of the time that will end being in a situation like mutually assured distraction. So remember, so these are some basic things you have to develop to be successful in life. Then we have three major choices in life. One, you can be an employed person, a working person. Then some people choose to be a self-employed people. Then other people may be choosing housewife. So this is how most of the people will be finally ending up after their education. Some may be maybe in a job, some may be doing some kind of business, and some may be ending as a. But whatever choice you are taking, my suggestion is that it should be a choice that you are deliberately taking. If you don't want to be housewife, do not settle in that position. If you don't want to be a working person, do not settle in that job. Instead of maybe you may be better in a self-employed person. So there are some basic things that you have to take into consideration while you are selecting this. So I will explain these three things, and maybe I don't think more time will be there. For example, you want to be a housewife. Being a housewife is a great thing. I don't think, because there was a one recently, there is a person, there is a person, Chandrasekhar. Chandrasekhar was the chief executive officer of Tata Motors. He was the chief executive, Tata cars. When he was driving in Bombay with his wife was counting how many Tata cars are moving in the road. And the wife told Chandrasekhar that there are very few Tata cars are now moving on the roads in Mumbai. Then she told Chandrasekhar, please do something about this. That is the advice given by the wife of the Chandrasekhar, who was the CEO of Tata Motors. And Chandrasekhar took that advice very seriously, and he thoroughly changed the way Tata Motors were working. Now you can see that there are a lot of Tata cars. The Tata cars are now become more competitive, more advanced, and more modern. All this because of the one simple advice given by a wife of Dr. Mr. Chandrasekhar. So that is how a housewife can make a lot of difference in the life of one person. So this is also an important thing. And one important problem that most of the time women face is that they settle into this role. If you don't want to be a housewife, don't settle into this. But if you choose that you can be a very good housewife, you can be happy as a housewife, then definitely that is a good role or good career that you can finally choose. Because there are a lot of things that housewives can do. One is as a housewife you should always have a routine, because there should be someone to always support the family members. If everybody in the family is working, the life will not be smooth. Because there are certain things the women can do successfully, which men can never do. Sometimes I always wonder, if you change the role, for example, if you are changing what women are doing, men are doing, and what men are doing, women are doing, definitely the system will not work. After some time, you will understand that. For example, when every day when I am taking my lunch, most days my wife will call me and ask how was the curry. And I was thinking that if I am doing the cooking, I will never call her and ask her how was the curry. Because this is something only women can get an enjoyment. And this is something men can never enjoy. So these are simple things in life. That is why the system will not work if you choose to do an offer. If you think that for example, you are thinking that if I am a man, I will be more successful. There is no such thing. You can be successful whether you are a woman or you are a man. And just because if you are a woman and you are not going to be in a difficult situation. So this is something that you have to develop, how to be happy as a housewife. You have to learn about that. Then only you will be remaining a happy housewife. Then another thing is how to be happy employee. So you are choosing the first option, that is you want to be an employee. You want to be an employee or you want to be an employed person. Because when you are an employee, there are a lot of challenges are there. Because you are most probably you will be working under somebody. And you have to listen to that person. You have to meet the targets given to you. So there will be a lot of tension will be there. Sometimes some bosses will be shouting at you. Because when I was in Australia, I was most of the time I met with many Malayalis who may be Uber drivers. What these people are telling that when we are driving Uber, we get more money and we are our own boss. So that is something that self-employed people always enjoy. That there is no other boss, we are our own boss. Some people may not like somebody dictating terms to us. So if you have that nature, don't settle into this kind of being an employee. select another career, for example, a business career or a self-employment or a startup, that there you are becoming your own boss. Nobody is shouting at you, nobody is dictating any terms to you. You are your own boss. So that maybe you will be more comfortable. You are not, you are always relaxed. So, but if you want to be an employee, there are some other benefits are also there. One important thing in being a good employee is that having positive relationship. If everybody in your office are very good people and you have a very smooth relationship with every employee, then coming to the office is always a fun. You spend the time that you are in the office. On the other hand, if your relationship is not positive, it is negative, full of trouble, full of fighting, full of competition, then coming to the office may be a most hated thing that you may be doing it. So this is something that you have to develop in your life. Being a happy employee, you have to invest in that. People never do that investment if you don't. For example, when you are working with for 3 or 4 people, one thing that I normally notice in management institution is that in a management institution, once a person is appointed, he or she is going to be there. For example, we are in a department, we are 4 people. Once I came here in 2009, now I will be retiring around in 2028, maybe 4 more years for me. That means normally 20 years or 30 years one person will be there. If I had a trouble with one person, I will be living with that trouble for next 10 or 20 or 30 years. So normally with experience, most of the time people will be settling into a more adjustable lifestyle in most of the management institutions. But in government colleges and schools, I have noticed that there are a lot of fighting between teachers. The problem is that they will be in one school or one college for 3 years. After 3 or 5 years, they will be moving to another college. And they will be also doing the same thing. So that is the problem. So this is one important thing. If you keep positive relationship with each other, life become more comfortable, more happy. So this is an important aspect you have to take very seriously. How to be happy as an employee. Then third aspect is that how to be happy as an entrepreneur. This is a new term. Maybe this is the term. This is the right career that is good for people like you right now, because it is not easy to get employment right now. It is very difficult to become an employee. Even if you become an employee, most of the time you are not going to get a salary more than 20,000 in Kerala. And with the salary of 20,000, it is very difficult to live in Kerala right now. So being an entrepreneur, that is one of the important thing or best thing that you can do at this time. So there are a lot of things you can take into consideration when you want to be a self-employed person. How you can be because you are your own boss. And you are finding income for all you have to find income, you have to manage income, you have to advertise your product for very properly, you have to manage good relations. For example, have you noticed how shop owners are behaving with the political people? Whether they are Congress, BJP or Communists, they all keep a normal relation with every political party. Why they are doing that? Because they want their business to prosper. So if you fight with one person, you are simply creating an enemy. An enemy can do a lot of harm. So this is an important thing that you have to develop. This is a skill that you have to develop when you are becoming a self-employed person. Then these are some of the important things that you can do. Never think that if you are the best, you will get the job. Most of the time, jobs are going to the second best or third best. So sometimes when you are going to an interview, you may be finding that there are a lot of other people who are more qualified. So this is an important thing that you have to, that is, jobs are usually going to your second best or third best. Then there is another equation there, 7, 38, 55. When you are going to an interview, remember this number, because the persons who are sitting there will be out of the 100%, they are only giving importance to 7% of what you are saying. Okay, 7, because you are talking to them very smartly, but the overall effect of what you are talking is only 7%. 55% is your overall appearance. Your appearance has 55% impact. Then 38% is your emotions, how you are presenting. And the only 7% is finally coming to what are the points that you are talking. So in any interview, if you want to be successful, make sure that you are very good in this 55-38. 55 your appearance, 38 your emotional balance. So whatever blunders you are saying is not very important. Even if you are making big mistakes, only this is what is finally counting. Then always watch certain motivational videos in YouTube. For example, if you type motivational videos in your YouTube, you can come across several videos, even from Malayalis or other Malayalis. You can see that are Malayalis living abroad. You can find a lot of videos how these people or poor people become successful in life. Make it is practice that. So you will get some idea. They can be successful in their life. Why I cannot be successful? So these are something. Then then one important question most of the time we will be getting in an interview is that, tell me about yourself. This is the first question most of the time in wherever interview, whether you are in India, Kerala or outside India. If you go to an interview, the first question that you are going to get is, please introduce yourself or tell me something about yourself. So be prepared to that and find out how I should answer those questions properly. So there is something. Then another question, what are you are interested in? Why you are interested in this job? Or you are appearing for an interview of a teacher, you will definitely get a question like this. So you should have a proper answer for that. So having a good preparation for the interview will normally help you get a good job. Then what are your strength and weakness? So when you, because here also you have a very concrete, very positive idea. So remember that nobody is going to think that you are full or you are a person with a lot of strength only. Every person will be having their own weakness. Even if you are bad in something or weak in something, project it in a nice manner. Accept that these are where areas I am not very good. And you can also highlight why your strengths. So because that will give you an impression about you, about whether what kind of person you are. Because most of the time, employee is looking out for a person who can be dependable, who can be honest, who can be loyal to them. So these are the points that you can remember whenever you are attending an interview. So in our next class, we will go into this type of jobs available. Then what kind of jobs are available after your degree, and we will be discussing about that. So today we will be stopping here itself.